Hello, wrestling fans. I'm Jay, here with my co host, the Horror King Gary. This is Discuss Impact and our review for Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds 2022. We're going to give you some quick thoughts and grades, which you can see on screen right now, before we talk about this week's special MVP, which, spoiler, is a very special one in the legend Raven. Also going to name Fan of the Week, Dummy of the Week.
MVP.
Nice. Also going to name our Fan of the Week, Dummy of the Week, take a crazy mailbag question, and much more. But before that, got to mention our second ever giveaway. You can see the DVDs on screen right now. Anyone listening can take your pick. Just leave a comment on here or myself or Gary's Twitter accounts. You know, any tweets related to this giveaway. Okay, the only people not allowed to enter are the few who unfollowed us after our past contest. You know, we're not going to have any rules on this other than that small one. We're not even saying you have to subscribe. You know, just if you do, don't leave because we noticed that thing. We noticed that stuff. So really quick, I thought this was a very good show. 8.4 I gave it. Could have used a big hook ending. And by hook, I don't mean that little kid by AEW. I mean like a crazy ending, you know, to get people hooked on the show. My thought was have Eric Young show up in the rafters or something with a shotgun, take out Josh. Gary, too much?
It's a little out there, I'm not gonna lie, but but I totally get where you're coming from. It definitely needed something to kind of keep us hooked going into the tapings, which just started about a mere half hour ago. I just kind of feel like it was kind of like a lost cause in a bit, because it felt like Tom Hannafan kept plugging him all night, and we didn't really get any of a payoff, but maybe he goes berserk at the tapings tonight, because I guess it's a 2-week set. So
yeah, I thought I actually missed him, and I had to ask you, but no. So I mean, no big deal. But I just thought it was a very good show that could have used like a boom ending, you know, just like something to, you know, nail us for, get us more hooked for next week. But I mean, you know, obviously we're going to be watching next week, and so, like I mentioned, we are choosing Raven for many reasons. First off, I mean, we don't know how many times more we're going to see him with Impact, so it's always awesome seeing him. He's a goddamn legend. He created this match with the Moose and Sammy on this one. The House of Horrors, I believe, Gary? Is that what it's called? Am I missing a little on the title?
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that what it's called? He did something like that too, though. He had a companion kind of gimmick match that was similar to that, though.
Yeah, they were mentioning him. He was actually on commentary mentioning little changes that they brought to this, which he loved. And I mean, there's so many things about this dude. I honestly believe he's one of the most underrated wrestlers / characters ever. Simply quote the Raven nevermore. Like that was, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant when I was a kid. And that was like badass as hell. You know what I mean?
Well, what I noticed last night was I felt like the fans were like out of touch with Raven, kind of like he was like predating everything that they've ever seen. A lot of the fans, because when he came and did the posing with his two fists out like he does, you know, to the crowd, they just like weren't into it. And I was just like, wow, you know, this must be like some really like younger fans, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, I'm in my 40s, and I'll leave it at that. And Gary is not younger, so yeah, that's all we'll say about that. And yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of sucks, but that's just how it is these days. You know, there's younger fans coming in, and they don't see things like that. But Jesus, go back and watch some of this stuff. I mean, he would just sit in the ring and tell stories, kind of like different than promos, and it was just so goddamn interesting. Just an amazing. He was insanely creative. I was gonna say ahead of his time, but I mean, if you look around, like there's no one like him. Like, and his look was cool. He had cool groups usually all the time. I saw him a bunch of times in ECW Arena. I mean, just awesome. Plus, I would always play him in PlayStation games as him because he had a cool move set.
Well, he had quite a career too up north in the WWE when he was on commentary as Johnny Polo.
You know, I didn't even realize that was him until years later.
Yeah, me either. I didn't even really notice it, and I was like, wait a minute. You know, they kind of like what they did with Chavo. Remember when he played was Kerwin White, and they had him that golf.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like that, like was obviously noticeable. Like I don't know, I guess I don't want to say
it just was ridiculous, you know.
I don't want to say Raven is a much better character, but yeah, also yeah, I'm gonna say that because he is, because he played that Johnny Polo thing, and I mean, look, compare that to the Raven character. But okay, we're not gonna spend an hour on Raven, but if you happen to listen, God man, been a fan forever, so awesome. And now quickly time for a dummy of the week, and this time it's IWC legend Rover. You can check out his tweet there on the screen where he thought the match from last night that was live happened months ago or weeks ago, whatever it was. Duh, what is it? I'm Rover. What's going on?
Dummy, now.
You're dumb. You're dumb as fuck.
Okay, so there's also some good comments out there. Gary, you can mention them if you want anytime during the show, but we're going to jump off with the awesome X Division match. I think we both agree this was our match of the night, and my only problem with it was I would have put it later because it was so goddamn good. It was kind of hard to follow.
Oh, yeah. Because it was by far one of the most recent live events they've done that, everything was spot on. I mean, just like the chemistry between Trey and Speedball is just off the hook. They were nailing everything, and they were putting it all out. They looked like they were really in pain too. They weren't really they were faking it kind of thing. They looked like they were in a lot of pain at times.
Oh yeah, no, totally. There was, I forget which was. There was a Hurricane Rana from. I think it was from Trey to Speedball when Speedball was on the outside of the ring, and it was just so perfectly hit, and just the way he took it, they're so crisp, and I agree with everything you said. It was just awesome match. I give it all the stars. I don't do stars, but I would give all of them to this match. This was just about perfect in my opinion. It got loud. This is awesome chants, and it was a very loud, good crowd for most of the night. No.
Oh, it was a beautiful crowd. I mean, that's what you want going into a show, especially as some people mentioned, it's 2 weeks of a build, and we really didn't have a proper build probably. But I think going into that show, the crowd, more than made up for that short period of time to where we kind of felt special. You would think 2 weeks. It really isn't that special. It's kind of feels like it's more tapings,
Yeah. And I don't want to call out Impact fans, and stick up for Ring of Honor fans. But I mean, we mentioned this, that's a Ring of Honor kind of home, right? And I was kind of hoping for this, that maybe they got some Ring of Honor fans because it just sounded louder than normal.
Oh yeah. I wonder too if it's just because it's in Atlanta, it's hot. A lot of people getting off their energy in a cooler building. You know what I mean? It's probably excruciating down there because I know where I live right now. It was about near 90 for 2 or 3 days, and just to get inside a venue, let all your energy out. I think it showed on this night.
Yeah, they were pretty loud throughout tonight. Just a hell of a job. A lot of chants and that really. It makes the show better. A lot of people, like myself, I don't bitch too much about crowds or pay much attention, but when they are loud, it makes it a hell of a lot better. So,
and I will add too, they nearly sold out in 3 weeks as opposed to what was it, 6 weeks or so it took to sell tickets for Slammiversary, and I think they had just as big of a house for this live event than they did the pay-per-view.
I'll be honest, I don't really pay attention to things like that anymore, but that is interesting, and I don't know, maybe they should look into that or go to Atlanta more, or who the hell knows what it is. But what match did you think was the second best? We didn't talk about this ahead of time, but go ahead, surprise me.
Trying to think. There's quite a few matches.
I will throw mine out first. I thought it was the Knockouts match, right up until the ending, which scared the shit out of me. But I guess Tasha's okay because I haven't really heard anything. So,
yeah, I would probably say I don't know. I was looking forward to the Honor No More and Team Impact, if you will.
Yeah, that was also
I kind of went there. I think I'm going to go there with that match only because of what was at stake. And the reveal and all that, like and everything. I was gonna lie, I was kind of hoping it was gonna be Wes Briscoe and Eric Bischoff's son. That's what I was kind of hoping.
Oh yeah.
Maybe D'Lo would be at ringside, and we get to see his Sky High again.
Yeah.
He was really over at the last set of tapings we had done. I was kind of hoping we'd get that moment again. I would have liked to seen Aces and Eights show up in Atlanta just to see what it looked like on TV on a live event.
Got to quickly apologize to the knockouts there. I was wrong. You are third on my list, at least, because the Ace Austin Chris Bay versus the Motor City Machine Guns was fantastic.
Yeah, I'd leave that off there. Yeah, I'd have to put that slightly ahead, but still, I was still looking forward to the Team Impact and Honor.
Yeah, totally fair. I was looking at the 411 review, 411 Mania, great site, but I'm sure you know that, much bigger than us. And I totally agree with pretty much everything they say. This was a great tag team opener, and I'm surprised that the Guns won, which I totally agree. I think
This is awesome.
I don't know. What do you think? Would you have had Ace and Bay win? Or?
I think I would have, only because the Bullet Club's over massively, no matter where they go.
Yeah.
They even go up against the nostalgia of Motor City Machine Guns, and they still drowned out that popularity of that tag team, because they were recently recognized as being the most popular tag team in TNA Impact history. So to be in that league and to be cheered more than Motor City Machine Guns, I think it would have made a lot more sense for Ace Austin and Chris Bay to get the win.
Yeah, see, I don't mind. I agree, but I don't mind that much, just because, like you were saying about Raven, people don't watch. There's a lot of new fans, and I don't think even wrestling people realize that. But in this, for example, here, Motor City Machine Guns, they haven't. How many matches have they won as a tag team in the last year? I have no idea. Maybe 3.
I don't know, but I know Chris Sabin's been on a damn roll. He wins
I'm totally cool with that.
I could honestly see him facing Josh Alexander in the future.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. Or just having them be a badass tag team for a while. They're literally one of the greatest tag teams ever, and probably always will be, no matter who comes along. And what do we got next? Which match do we?
Got mail.
Sorry, did not expect that to happen at this moment, but let's jump over to the old mailbag. Should us be nothing. Hey guys, huge fan, especially of Gary's. That's kind of a dick move, and sorry, that was still playing there. That's a dick start to the comment. Let me just say that. Huge fan, especially of Gary's. Okay, this is a weird question, but let's just say I masturbated to Giselle before finding out the latest news. I'm kind of questioning my life now and hoping you can help out with that. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, this is one of those times when I guess I should have looked at the question before literally just reading it on air. And that's from Reggie Thompson in Dover. And yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. Gary, you got anything?
No, I'm going to stay politically correct and not touch this one.
That is pretty smart. Yeah, we can't touch that kind of stuff, guys. Literally, metaphorically, I would rather not touch it. So thanks for the message, and let's move on to that match, since we're since we had it right there. I guess it's a good lead-in from that weirdo question. Rosemary and Taya, who I love as a tag team, just perfect, so needed in that.
Damn.
In that division, no, they needed a monster, I can't think of the goddamn word, legit tag team, and that's what they are.
Oh yeah, I like that they're kind of hinting at we're gonna get to see Team Ragnarok versus Gianna and Chelsea in the future.
Oh yeah, that'll probably be a big feud down the line. So this wasn't that. This match was pretty good for the time that it got. I think it got a decent amount of time, I guess, but I would say not one of the better matches of the night. Giselle was replacing the injured Madison, and Taya got the roll-up win. when they were kind of like, I think they were like double teaming Rosemary, if I'm not positive.
Well, did you see the move that Giselle tried to do from the top rope?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Tried to do that one, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a spinal tap or spiral tap.
Yeah.
And she totally missed, but Tom Hanfan did a really good job of recovering that part of the show, because she had landed and like hit the knee. And I mean, it kind of made sense because it was like so that's what I like about Tom Hannafan. He knows about the history of Impact in this short time he's been with us. He kind of sold the knee injury that she's had from prior shows.
Oh wow, I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't know if you noticed or had noticed that.
No, but Tom is fantastic, and I am a huge Hannah fan. I mentioned that before, and I would like to get that going, but probably not going to happen. I've been trying. Masha came out after the match and gave a letter to Neil, I believe.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and she's freaking out over it and everything.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, but I'd rather see her just come out and like beat the shit out of someone instead of like, here you go, here's a note. But I guess it's also cool, like, you're next, like Goldberg kind of telling them.
Yeah, well, I like how they're like booking her slowly but surely, trying to get her to that main event scene. Like, they're not pushing her too fast.
Yeah, that's what you got to. I mean, that's what you got to do. If anybody knows, if anybody was around for the Goldberg times, that's what you got to do. I mean, it takes a while. Like, Goldberg wasn't Goldberg. I think it was like a year later, or like who knows. But yeah, it was a hell of a journey, and you got to enjoy that shit. Really great crowd for the Honor No More match. I have a note for. I really enjoyed that match. Yeah, just as, I wouldn't say as much as you, maybe a little less, but
awesome.
Yeah. Also, I got to mention Cameron Macklin. I thought that was one of the funnier parts of the night. And I love shit like that when, like, you don't notice. Like, that dude was the cameraman for, 10 minutes?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, now I know what you mean.
Sorry, I'm jumping around.
The cameraman. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, at first, honestly, I thought it was Bully Ray. Because he had the hat on, and he's kind of big, because, like, Macklin's quite a big guy. Mm-hmm. I thought it was Bully Ray at first. I thought maybe, I don't know why I thought that. It reminded me of the Aces and Eights with the jumping in the ring, and I was like, what the hell's going on? I didn't know if it might have been an old ECW alumni person too, maybe, because I heard recently that Sandman, he showed up. Did he show up at MLW recently too?
Oh yeah, well, I know he was there a few months ago. I'm not sure how recent, but yeah, okay.
But yeah, I just thought it might have been that because, being a hardcore match and everything, it didn't even dawn on me it was Macklin. I mean, it makes sense because, he's one of the top guys in the company. And then they were having them team right before the pay-per-view, so.
Yeah, I thought it was odd. Like, where the hell are these guys? I mean, sorry, where are these guys? Where the hell's Macklin? Like, he wasn't even on the show. Like, he wasn't scheduled for the show. But I mean, I thought that was so goddamn cool. Like, I love shit like that, where it's like you can look back and be like, is there any? You can go back and watch it and be like, is there any way you can tell it's Macklin? Which I haven't done yet, but I'm definitely gonna do because I'm crazy like that. But I mean, this match was pretty. I would say.
Well, they definitely swerved us, the fan and the audience out there, about like having a debut of somewhat. Well, not debut, but like a jump, kind of a jump in the action kind of thing. Kind of took me back to the old TNA days.
Yeah. What'd you think overall about this match?
Sammy. I liked it quite a bit, but my only problem with it is I thought it was really short.
Yeah, a little too short.
I would have liked more carnage, if you will. The horror king in me wanted more blood.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, it is, especially when you name it that match, the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. I mean, I want to say, well, I guess, like you said, more blood, which is kind of messed up. I mean, but yeah, more, I don't know, a little more something, but still, very good match. I mean, like there was definitely nothing bad on this show. Kind of jumping around a little here, but yeah, I mentioned the Rosemary, the I don't know more match. Okay, so I was confused. I thought PCO was not in this match originally, or was he not in this match?
No, Vincent was going to be in it, and then he took his spot. Or was it Vincent was going to be in it? And
yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember Eddie saying he's basically still pissed about the loss.
Okay.
And like he's kind of, you could feel like there's tension between PCO and Eddie.
But at some point they changed their mind and let PCO in the match. I guess.
Yeah, I think he wanted to prove it. Somehow Vincent more or less wanted him to prove his point that he's legit and he's the real deal. You know, he's team honor no more, and
pretty much put him in timeout for a week.
Yeah, and did you see that 6 he did where he barely hit it? He barely hit the other guy. he does stuff like that. Like,
when you do that much stuff, it's gonna happen. Like, he just, I mean, how much crazy shit does he do? Like 5 things a match at least.
Well, I've literally seen him bounce off a rope. And you know how the thing where Eddie bounces off the rope and then he goes between the ropes and takes out the guy? I've literally seen him go between the ropes and just land on his back outside the ring.
Yeah, he was, if you don't know, he was our first ever MVP. I am a huge fan of his. One of the few guys I was a Ring of Honor fan of, just because I didn't watch it a ton other than the Briscoes and the Man's Man. What the hell's his name?
Oh, Silas Young. Yeah. Honestly, I want him in Impact. I've wanted him for a long time, and then he signed he re-signed with ROH, and then they went out of business, which I'm kind of shocked that no one hasn't come along and snatched him by now.
Totally agree. Totally. I did read something about WWE. Am I crazy that I read something about him in WWE? Maybe I am crazy. But whatever. I totally agree with you about all that.
His counterpart, Beer City Bruiser, I believe, wrestles in NWA.
Yeah. There was a kind of a weird finish here at the end with Storm and Harris. Storm ended up getting the pin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that just Harris?
Yeah, well, the thing is with Harris, I was expecting him to be a lot more rusty than he was.
Yeah.
I do think they protected him pretty good here. The match was pretty evenly, square in terms of like everybody getting their shots in and everything. And I don't know. My only complaint it's probably a retarded way to say it, but I didn't like his gear. I thought it made him look like he's wearing a bag all night to me. I just did not like I just made him look bulky to me.
Well, nothing wrong with you not liking someone's gear. It's a free country, and you are allowed to like and not like people's gear.
Well, it felt like him and Heath were like twins. Their gear were.
They should I'm always shocked when I see things like that. Like, how do you not look at each other backstage and be like, shit, let me change fast?
Yeah, kind of like in the movies, like this lady's wearing this dress, and then it's the same one.
I feel like the Knockouts definitely probably send each other pictures like I'm wearing this because like I feel like they have it nailed, like they all look different.
I think the Knockouts do a lot better job with their
simply they're girls. I mean,
that too,
I don't mean to be sexist, but obviously they care more about looking nice and dressing up than stupid lame guys like us. And speaking of them, Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green versus Mia and Mickey. This was a fun little match. Yeah, totally agree with that. Going to throw some pictures in the background here, actually. There was a new one from Chelsea, which on Instagram, which, I mean, Jesus, you should definitely be following her. And I like that Mickey's still around. I kind of forget him every now and then.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that I'm kind of like past the phase of Mickey. I don't know why. I kind of feel like we should be pushing some of our younger girls. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I mean, I agree, but she was also on WWE not months ago, sorry. Yeah, well, months ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. It's just
still gotta ride that WWE wave.
Yeah, it's just I kind of feel like some of her moves look like rehearsed like a lot since she's gotten older. I don't know. I just feel like when she was in her early days, she was much more crisp. I just kind of feel like I've seen enough of that bouncing off the top rope, and I don't know. I just don't like. I don't really. I think what it is it's more of a diva style of wrestling for me than it is like kind of like Masha. that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I think it's fair. Everybody has their own kind of thing, and sometimes people kind of fall into it. I mean, it's why I don't like the Young Bucks. I feel like every match they do is the same.
Oh
It's
yeah,
kind of,
yeah. It is. I used to love them a lot, and it's like their attitude sucks. Though they
oh yeah,
rub
that.
people
Oh yeah, that too.
wrong everywhere they go.
Oh, sorry. Again, thanks to 411 as I'm looking through this thing. Eddie tells Vincent he's out and PCO is back in. So,
Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah. Okay, I missed that segment. Okay, so they did do it on television, which nice job 411 for helping me out on that one.
I don't know if you noticed some of the stuff backstage at the pay-per-view against all odds. It kind of felt like sometimes like they were having glitches with the video.
Oh yeah.
At least it was on Plus. I don't know if it was for.
Yeah, I have a little note at the bottom. There was some glitches and some sound issues. I can never tell if it's me because I kind of have a shitty internet at times. But if you say it, then yes, it was probably a thing.
Yeah, because it was like it was like it was darkening the screen, and then at first I thought it was the cinematic shit that they do. You know, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a couple of backstage segments that were trying to go that route, and then it's like it kept doing it for all the segments. I was like, there's no way this is cinematic, you know?
Yeah. See, I think a lot of these things kind of come down to like Wi-Fi or like, you know, like that the area or whatever the hell it is, and who knows. But moving on, we've been flying around, and let's jump back to the. Oh wait, no, we didn't do a winner on the that knockouts match. It was knockouts tag with Mickey James and
Mia.
Mia. Chelsea got the win, and like you said, looks like they're going to be pushing that team, which I'm excited about. Now let's quickly jump back to the beginning before we forget about it. Black Taurus defeated Laredo Kid in a fun little match, and then Brian Myers, who Kester, one of my good Impact buddies, asked if this was the first ever singles championship for Brian Myers, and it was. I had to look it up. He's been around for a very long time. He's held the WWE tag titles twice, and the one-time GFW, or whatever the hell it was, at TNA GFW Impact with Lee.
Oh, with did you say Lee?
Trevor Lee.
Yeah, that's what what they call him, Caveman or something. That's what they used to call him, the Carolina Caveman. I think that's what they called him.
Yeah, good wrestler. Didn't have much of a gimmick, but good.
I think his gimmick's even worse in NXT.
Yes, yeah. I barely pay attention, but I mean, good for Myers. I really like Myers' character. Very fun character, and it's just a fun match with Swan, who's always in.
Yeah, he looked really good in this match against Swan. I was really honestly surprised they put the strap on Myers, because I kind of thought they were gonna kind of play it, you know, because since they broke up, since Willie Mack left, I kind of figured they might try to, you know, like maybe just kind of like this would give him somebody to face for the digital media, and then they'd like move him on to somebody else. So this was a nice surprise that they actually swerved somebody like myself on it. So, I mean, I like the way creative's kind of keeping people guessing, the fan.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I just had a crazy thought. Imagine Masha was actually with Team Rosemary. That'd be a sick-ass team. Like a stable, like a stable.
Well, I mean, I can honestly see it, because like they've been kind of, I don't know, they've been kind of hinting at Rosemary and Havoc are kind of like at odds a little bit, because I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if that was on Impact this Thursday or the pay-per-view, but she had mentioned to Father James Mitchell about where's Havoc.
Yeah. I think it all came after that when she lost to Masha too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it all fits in nicely. Just a crazy thought. Who knows? And Knockouts Championship match. I mentioned this earlier. I thought this was very, very, very good. Maybe great. I was a little scared seeing the ending, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything. So I'm guessing she's not badly injured. Maybe it was just like, you know, Blood Rain mentioned, maybe just like a stinger or something, and hopefully it was just that.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like you're talking about Tasha, right?
Yeah, they threw up the X afterwards.
Okay, yeah. Well, I noticed like her head hit funny, and I thought maybe it might have been a concussion, or maybe a separated shoulder. I couldn't really tell, because it looked like it looked like her head hit, like hit the canvas a lot harder than normal when Jordynne does such a move.
Yeah, she also wasn't like positioned correctly when they kind of went into it,
Yeah, because like when I noticed when she was kind of straining, I was like, yeah, I think I would have just probably sat her back down and maybe.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know what I mean? I think I would have. I think it was a case of her being so damn strong that she did pull it off, but I think it was a case of probably not properly placing her without her getting injured. So
I said that exact same thing in a room earlier. I was watching and thinking like, oh God, put her down, just try it again. But also, it's a wrestling match. Like, I don't even know if wrestlers think like that, or if they just think like, how can I? But she did. Like, she flipped her around like the best way she could possibly do. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know what goes through their heads, if they can even stop when they're doing things like that. Like it might be like a mental thing where they can't stop. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're like so into the match and like that's they know what to do, and like it's hard for them to get out of it. Especially Jordynne, who's so goddamn strong. But also, that's why I was so worried, because Jordynne is so goddamn strong and hits that thing like it's, you know what I mean? That's a nasty looking finisher when it's hit perfectly.
Well, I noticed too, she's been doing a lot of the skinning the cat move, where she pulls herself back up into the ring too. And I know she's been working on that move, so I know she's been rededicating herself in the ring. She shouldn't feel bad at all about an injury of Tasha's magnitude, because that's what happens in wrestling. Sometimes people get injured, and it was an unfortunate circumstance.
Jordynne has a new theme song, which I did not notice, but Steve Slam, one of my good followers and great Impact fans, I believe from France, could be wrong, might be Italy. I can't look it up right now, but hell of an Impact fan. And on to the main event. Josh Alexander versus Joe Doering. We kind of talked about this earlier with, my only problem was the ending. I love that Doering got a, nice amount of time for a match, and this is what I've been waiting for a while. Small problem. I would have played up the undefeated thing like months earlier, or like weeks earlier, if they could have.
Yeah, well, what I noticed about this pay-per-view is like it was uncanny what happened at this event. Was usually Impact's live event at their live events, like on Impact Plus, the crowd's like heavily into it. And at this point, the last two matches, I felt like at the pay-per-view, it kind of, I don't know if it's because it was clocking in somewhere around 3.5 hours. I have no idea. But I felt like maybe it was too much wrestling for a lot of people. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that's what it was, but I kind of felt like at times the crowd got kind of dead at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were super loud during the Honor No More match, and I think the Sammy Moose match. I'm not too positive about that one. And I'm not sure. I think maybe during the Knockouts match, maybe that's where they kind of died off a little.
Yeah.
It might have been the length. I'm not sure. I mean, it definitely wasn't because this was a bad match. It definitely was not a bad match.
It was a solid pay-per-view, no doubt. It's just, I don't know. It just kind of had different. I felt like the pacing throughout was a little off to me. Maybe not. Maybe you didn't feel that way, but I kind of felt like for every high we had, there was an occasional low, but nothing terrible.
Yeah, no, nothing bad. I would say maybe they could have taken one match out. I'm not sure which one. Looking around fast, but whatever. Not a huge deal. And I mean, listen, it's wrestling, and it's hard to complain about little things like that, like too much. Or I would say cut down the countdown shows to one match, focus on it more, make it a bigger deal. I love Black Taurus and Laredo Kid, but I don't know. I'm guessing because it's a AAA deal, they're never going to get actually pushed or.
Well, did you see the recent story that's broken too about Bandito?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Wanted to wrestle for Impact. I hope that's the case. I think any Impact fan that doesn't know about Bandito, just if you're able to somehow access ROH library, go back and watch some of his stuff. Some of his stuff, I believe, is in AAA too. He's a really good talent, and if we could land somebody like that, our X division is going to be even. I mean, he could even fight, and he could end up fighting Josh Alexander too, because he's quite strong, and he fights like a heavyweight. So
I've seen a bunch of him. I do get him mixed up with, I believe it's his brother.
Flamita?
Okay, yeah. But yeah, he's very, very good. Definitely check him out. I am afraid, from what I read, it kind of sounds like, yeah, wrestle at Impact and, kind of anywhere kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want him to stop at Impact and then go to AEW, but sometimes that's life. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, it was a really good show. Coming up, we have, what is it, Emergence? Is that what it is? Yeah, after this set of tapings from Southern Hostility, which is tonight, which just started at 7:30, we leave Atlanta at 2-week taping set tonight. And then on 15th and the 16th, we go to Louisville, Kentucky for the Derby City Rumble. And that will take us to Emergence, which is at Cicero Stadium in Chicago.
That will probably be the next time we do a giveaway, so I hope people aren't expecting these every week. It just happens to be there was Slammiversary and then Against All Odds quickly. And that will be another Gary giveaway, which will be the good ones.
Are you? Did you mention your giveaway tonight?
Yeah, pretty sure I got it.
I couldn't remember if you had. I just wanted to make sure because
I'm like 95% sure I ran through that earlier, but if I didn't really quick, I'll throw it again. I'll throw it on screen again, once again here. And yeah, that's the giveaway. All you have to do is leave a comment on this YouTube video or either mine or Gary's, any of our tweets related to this. You can find us on Twitter in our description, in the description below. And yeah, as far as the show goes, that's about it. Do we have any other news? Ratings were pretty much the same, down a 10th, I believe, in the rating. But
yeah, I think they were down 8,000 views from the week before. But like I was telling you, Jay, I think a lot of it, the problem this week is a lot of people preparing for the 4th of July holiday.
Oh yeah, no question. And
a lot of people get paid on Thursday. They're traveling.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this might be like the worst weekend ever to do something. I'm actually surprised Money in the Bank is this weekend, but whatever, it is what it is. And we do what we do, and we will be back next time with another Impact review. And I did not mean to rhyme there on purpose. So that's about it. Catch you next time. Remember, as always, keep it positive, at least when it comes to Impact.
Exactly.